Good morning, Christians. I'm sitting here reading my Bible. I'm in Philippians, having a little coffee. And sometimes when people tell me their stories or tell me their testimonies, I always reply back, you're going to have such a strong ministry. And that scares people. Because when people hear the word ministry, they think, oh, I have to be an evangelist or I have to be a preacher or, it scares them. And that's not my point at all. So sometimes I need to reel myself back in and use words that are less scary. But I want to read to you starting in verse 3 of Philippians chapter 1. It says, I thank my God every time I remember you. In all my prayers for all of you, I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it to the completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Okay, so let's wind this down a little bit. So in verse 5, where it says, because of your partnership in the gospel. Okay, so what is partnership in the gospel? So the partnership in the gospel means that you're spreading the gospel. But my study Bible says this: as we help our ministers, our missionaries and evangelists through prayer. So you can be in ministry through prayer. You can, in hospitality and financial gifts. We become their partners in spreading the gospel message. So when I tell you that you're going to have a strong ministry, I don't mean you have to go out to seminary and be a preacher. If you want to, great, awesome. But just by praying for your preachers or, those that have a strong stance in ministry. When you offer hospitality and when you offer financial gifts, you are partnering with the gospel. But also, like if you go to church and you hear a good sermon that day, or if there's a speaker, or if you're going to like a conference or something, and when you go home and they're like, oh my gosh, listen to what I learned today. You are spreading the gospel. Therefore, you are partnering with the gospel. So when Joni says something kind of dumb and big and scary, like you're going to have such a strong ministry. No, you don't. Preaching is not for everybody. Preaching is such a hard stance in life because you are held such a high accountability with God. But just by telling your testimonies or telling your stories, or even if it's just a tiny testimony, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been praying for this, and I've been praying for this little thing for the longest time, and finally God, He answered my prayers. That's testimony. That is a ministry. That is also spreading the good gospel. So, okay. Well, I hope this helps. And, all right. And have a great day. God bless.